Thank you. All right, so the person who will be taking us on today's class is none other than Jemima Mensah. Jemima is a leader in digital resilience and compliance. She specializes in designing and implementing robust management systems across the critical domains of organizational security and continuity, information security and cybersecurity, protecting organizational data and infrastructure from threats while ensuring confidentiality, integrity, and availability, data protection and privacy, developing policies and controls to manage and safeguard personal data in compliance with international regulations. She also specialized on business continuity, ensuring organizations can quickly recover and continue operations during and after disruptive events. Ladies and gentlemen, with a clapping of hands in the chat room, can we welcome our trainer in the person of Jemima Mensah? She'll be taking us on AI in operations. Jemima, if you can hear me, please, you can take it off from here.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thanks for the introduction, and I'm very happy to be here. So I think the topic got mixed up a bit. So I'll be taking AI in HR and communication. I think I should point to that first. So I'm very happy for this class this morning, and I look forward that it's become a very enjoyable class. And since today is a working day, I know most of us might be at work. So I'm hoping that we'll be using the chat room rather to talk. If I could hear each and everyone's voices too, I'll be very happy. So to not waste much time, I'll be sharing my screen so that we just start the section. Please give me a minute. So please kindly let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen. Please, can you put
Okay.
it on projection?
Yes. Um, so I think since the beginning of the program, the classes have been quite interactive and practical. So with this class also, it's going to be the same. We'll move from the projection to our AI, different kind of AI that we have, then interact with it on my side and hopefully on everyone's side as well, so that we get to have the practical side of the section as well. So today, like I said, we are going to look at AI in human resources, which is HR, and in communication. So we are going to look at how we can utilize AI in a field like human resources. I don't know if anyone here is in human resources, but if not, it's something that we can learn about. We can communicate your to let how let's our so for learn about it and most trainers from the previous setup taking so this cause us to choose the landscape, what each AI have for us, what AI is good for, which purpose. We'll get a clear understanding first, and then we'll move on to AI in human resources. That's where we talk about how we utilize AI in the processes involving human resources, which we have different processes. If someone is an HR here, the person can testify to it. So each resource is critical. So each critical processes in HR, we are going to learn how to utilize AI, how to use AI to help us in each step in the process. Then move to AI in communication. Um, each individual does communicate. So we look at how to utilize AI in our communication, in our work. So different types of communication, written communication, verbal communication, how we utilize AI in communication. Then we'll take the last thing, which is implementation of strategy. So how are we going to go about what we've learned? How are we going to implement it, whether personally, whether enterprise level? How do we implement these things that we've learned? We'll talk about that also. So without wasting much time, we'll start with the landscape of AI. So like I said, just something small for us to understand what AI, which AI or what. So this AI about me is, I'm not saying there are no other except this four, so I'll be pilot and then the Gemini. I'll just give questions about AI in each section. And I know most of us see from open the model, the latest model. It's mostly free, but you can subscribe for more to get more access to this module, because sometimes when you can testify when you're using, they'll tell you, okay, you've reached your limits, come back at this time. And then we have Claude, which is from Anthropic. I know most of you know those who use AI for building, for coding. I know most of you know about Claude specifically because it's something that people who code normally uses much. So we have Claude also, and it's also not free, even though we have the free version, you can use it for free, but it's also limited to get them to use it more in other field, like to get more things from it, you need to subscribe to the paid version, just like the ChatGPT. So even though you can use it for free, it's also not, it has a limit to it. So like ChatGPT is used for general purposes. You can use it for coding as well. You can use it for generating of pictures. The same thing as Claude, but Claude normally have when it comes to writing, it's proving that Claude writes more quality writing and in-depth writing, mostly like a research base. So it normally generates a quality research type writing compared to ChatGPT. Long documents, like if you want to write, let's say, an article and you want it ever, if you go to ChatGPT, you can get it all though, but if you go to Claude, it normally gives you that long document type of research. And then we have Microsoft Copilot, which is for Microsoft. So anyone who have a Microsoft account normally have a Copilot if you log into your Edge, Microsoft Edge, you find Copilot, your Microsoft 360, which also you can use for free, but for advanced purposes, you have to subscribe. You have to subscribe to it. So with Copilot, it's integrated into the Microsoft system at whole. So you can, in your Microsoft 360, you can have your Copilot in there. Sometimes, even if you are in your Microsoft Edge, the browser, and then you are reading something, or even if you open a PDF file and then you highlight a word, you can actually just get Copilot to tell you something about it. So it's actually integrated into the Microsoft itself. So far as you use Microsoft, you have a Microsoft account, you can actually utilize the Microsoft Copilot. And mostly it's you have the enterprise part of it, which an organization can subscribe to it, like give out the Microsoft a subscribe Microsoft account to their employees to utilize and all that. And it has a lot of things you could do also with that as well, which will go into it. And then we have Gemini from Google. So far as you have a Google account, same as the Microsoft, you have access to your Google Gemini, which also is free. Google Gemini is free and you can use it. It's integrated also in the Google Workspace, which you can use. And you can use it individually as well. Like you go to unless you go to Google search engine, you search for something, you have the AI option there. So something that we should note is that the AI landscape is quite huge, even though these models are the key ones we normally use, but it's a very huge landscape, which it's much to explore. Sometimes, most of the times, if you are someone who follow AI, today you hear of this AI, tomorrow they said this one, today, like every few days, every few minutes, new AIs are coming up. And you might even be exhausted keeping up with them. So the AI landscape is a very huge landscape that you could actually dive into and explore more on your own. But for today's section, we are going to use this for AI. So this is just a simple table that I did from a research. And you can see here that when it comes to general writing content, we say ChatGPT is good. So someone who can just say that, okay, I know someone who says when they are using Claude, it doesn't give them the answers they are looking for. They prefer ChatGPT. Like I said, even though this is a general research that has been done and has been graded, most of the times too, it depends on the input you give the AI, the prompts you give the AI, and what you receive. So sometimes someone might use Claude, which in this in the research being made, they said it's the best for content writing and then general writing. But someone can use Claude and then they wouldn't get what they expect, and then they will get it from either Copilot or ChatGPT. So this is just a research being done. Like I said, mostly your prompts also determine whether this research which has been done by these AI researchers are actually good, correct or not. So there's a long document. ChatGPT give it a fair. Claude is the best. Copilot fair. Gemini is also best for long documents. When it comes to coding, ChatGPT is best. Claude is good. Copilot is good, and Gemini is fair. So when it comes to Microsoft, I mean it's Microsoft 360. So um integration, even though limited, Copilot is best because obviously that is what it's built for. It can integrate into Microsoft's system so well because it's from Microsoft. And when the same thing for the Google Workspace, Google Gemini is the best. And then when it comes to research, we have Gemini since it's mostly connected to the web, as in current, it has the current feed from the web, which is the Gemini. So most models, they have their it's built on most of the times previous internet information, but not like the current one. But with Gemini, it's integrated to the current system of the web. So when it comes to research, most of the times when you use Gemini for the research, you get like um latest answers, which is on the web. And then when it comes to email drafting, ChatGPT is good, Claude is best, Copilot is best, and Gemini it's also good. Meeting recap, we have Fair for ChatGPT, Fair for Claude, Copilot best here for meeting recap, and then Gemini is good. So most of the times, if you are on even with a Zoom, you can see some now. If you log in, it will tell you that give you some notification that you can transcribe it from this place. Like those are the recap. It will give you a recap of your meeting. The same as Gemini, if you join from the um Google Meet, it also have that kind of feature. And then we have the social media content, which ChatGPT is good, Claude is best, Copilot is good, and all that. So security and compliance, I don't know if we have someone here who is in security and compliance, but you can see all of them are best for depending on which one you want to utilize, you can actually go with that. So this is just a fair view of these four platforms that we will be using today. So without wasting much time, let's move on to our first topic, which is AI in human resources. Like I said, AI has come to stay with us. So as human beings, we shouldn't be scared that, okay, AI is going to replace our job. We should rather utilize them to make it more efficient. So that's why most of us are in this class to learn how to utilize AI tools to be more efficient in our work that we do. So AI in human resources. So if there is any, please can you show in the chat if there is any human resource person here? You can raise your hand if there is any human resource person. If this is for you, and if there is no human resource person, you can learn about these things. Sometimes come up with business and then you don't have money to hire an HR. So what we realize this guy he just this to do. There is no here. Knowledge time our our so sorry, I dropped off. I had a small network issue. And please, can someone kindly tell me where um I got cut off so that I could start from there? Hello, please, can anyone?
I think we're just starting the AI in human resources, so you can just take it up from there.
Okay, okay, thank you. Um, Okay, so um I think here is where I got cut off. So we have this here, which we start with the recruitment and talent acquisition when it comes to the HR processes. So like I said, one of the HR processes, which is known as the recruitment and talent acquisition, that is one of the core processes when it comes to the HR. So with this process, we have sub processes. HR just don't stand up and then they go and acquire a talent for the company. They have to pass through some processes that both all of us might know of because we've been employed once in our life before. And so when HR starts recruitment process, they first have to create a job description. So they know that, okay, the company needs an IT manager or the company needs a business developer. So how am I going to get that person for the company? They start by creating a job description of what specifically they need from an individual to occupy that position. So they start by creating a job description. And from our AI landscape, we say when it comes to writing, ChatGPT and Copilot are something that they are good at writing. So as you can see, we are going to utilize Chat, although we use the four of them just with the same prompt to see what they give us. And then you can utilize all four and choose between what you want. So when it comes to job description creation, when you go into ChatGPT, you can just give it a short prompt, write a job description for a senior marketing manager with 7+ years experience in B2B SaaS. You can just give it that prompt. Actually, it depends on the job you are looking for, the talent you are looking for, the job position, which is vacant that you are trying to fill. So you can give it a prompt. Like I said, prompting is key when it comes to AI because what I prompt into ChatGPT, someone who can prompt something different, like act as an HR and create you give the AI a job title to act as it. And normally, if you do that, you normally get a different result from just giving it anything. And also, the more detail your prompt is on what the AI should do, that is what you get from it. So without waiting or wasting time, let's jump. Let me share my screen for let's go into our AI. I don't know if it will be okay with you if I please hold on. Let me share my entire screen. Okay, so we'll have our copilot here. And then yeah. Please, I hope my screen is sharing. I'm sharing my entire screen now, not just the slides. Hello, please, am I audible?
Yes,
Hello?
loud and clear.
Oh, okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to um I don't want us to go back and forth that much. So will it be all right if I divide my screen? Is that okay with everyone? So that I do
Please,
that.
please go ahead.
Okay. So, um, yeah. So we have our Claude here and sorry, our Copilot here. So when you open your Microsoft Edge on your laptop, you normally find this screen. If you want to chat with the AI directly, you see your chat here. So you can chat with Copilot directly from here instead of trying to open Copilot, going to type for Copilot in the search. You can also type it, but just to know, you have a quick click button here. So we said we are creating a job description. So let's say we want it to write a job description for us for a business analyst role, an entry-level business analyst role. So we can just go with a simple prompt, write a job description for an entry-level business analyst role. So let me just copy this. We are going to use them. Okay. So let's see what Copilot give us. So you can as well try at your end whilst I'm doing it here. You can as well open your browser and then try doing what I'm doing to see. You can put in any, I'm not just a business analyst role. So here is what we get from it. It said position overview. We are seeking a motivated and detail-oriented business analyst into bracket entry level to join our team. This role is ideal for recent graduates or early career professionals. And you see, it gives you the key responsibilities, qualifications, preferred skills, what we offer. So with this, it's just a generic prompt that we fed into the AI. Said it should give us an entry level business analyst role. So as you can see, it just gave us something. Maybe in your organization, this isn't the key responsibilities that you want the AI to give out. So you add those things in your prompt, what you want it to give to generate. So maybe you tell it, okay, this role, the person is supposed to do this and that. Then it picks up and then generates from there. And as you can see, there is qualification. Maybe for your organization, you are not looking for someone with a degree. Maybe just a diploma will be okay, or a degree in any field will be okay. You just make a point to add those things to your prompt so that it gives out the things you want to see. And your offer to, you can just give a description of the offer that you are giving. Maybe you can add a salary range to rate, and then it will bring out all these things. Like I said, your prompts, even though we are learning how these tools help us in different fields. Your prompting is key when it comes to AI. So this is something that Copilot generated for us with that simple prompt. So without wasting time, let's move on to a different. So we can go to Gemini. So we can try Gemini as well. And as it's loading, let me just open Claude as well. Hold on. Let me rather use this. Okay. So entry level. So okay, let me just use the same prompt. In the first prompt, I realized that the prompt, we didn't have the entry, I didn't add the level, but when we were using the Copilot, it just gave out, it did the right thing with the spelling. It said entry level, even though there was a mistake in the prompt here. So let's look at what Gemini will be giving us with the same prompt, nothing different. Okay, so it also gives a job description, the role description, the key responsibility, the same as Copilot gave us. The requirements, it's also here. So as you can see, let me just put it side by side so that we just check. So we have job overview. This also have job overview, but you can see that the Gemini's job overview is much more detailed, and the Copilot's own is just straight to the point. And then we have the key responsibilities here, which also, like I said, depend on what you feed it, but this is general one. And with Gemini, it's categorized its requirements gathering process. So it gives you, let's say, a subtitle before explaining what that is. But we don't get, with the response, we don't get that here in Copilot. And with the qualification, the same with Gemini, it gives you some sort of subtitle before diving into it, but this goes straight forward. And then preferred skills, nice to have, what success look like. So you can see Gemini just ended here with the requirements. But when it comes to the Copilot, it goes much over the requirements, and then it gives you, aside from the normal qualification, it gives you preferred skills. So something which is nice to have. And then what you offer, it also add, which I think every work post out there normally add offers, not all though, but most of the times. And most people who are applying normally want to see this, but if I'm applying for a job, I want to see what you are offering me. So if I see just this here, the one Gemini gives me, maybe I might apply, but I'll be asking more questions about what am I going to get, what is the offer about. So I think I'll lean more toward Copilots when it comes to adding this offer part and then preferred skills. So let's go to Claude also with the same prompt. Okay. I don't have an account with this. Okay. Yeah. Sorry for this. I should have used an account which, yeah, so we can just start. Okay. So as we can see for Claude, it was checking for the front. Okay. It said checked front design skills, front end design skills. So business analyst. So this is the generated thing. So about the role, it gives us what you do, your responsibilities, what we are looking for. It gives that as well. And what we offer. So as you can see with the Claude one, it just doesn't give you, it brings some style to it. As you can see, this one just went with bullet points. But with the Claude, it gives you some style in your post, which you can just copy it here and then you paste it. You don't need to do anything about it again. So it gives you what we offer, competitive salary, and all that. So you can see that even though it gives the same thing as Gemini, the difference is that it adds some style to what we've generated. So moving on to ChatGPT, which is our last one. Okay. So as you can see from ChatGPT as well, it also gives the same thing, similar to Copilot's own. So from our slides, I stated that we should go with ChatGPT and Claude. So as you can see, the ChatGPT and Copilot are very similar. So you can use them with the Claude if you want any style in your posting. As you can see, it gave you some front end design there, which you don't need to do much about it. Just if you don't want to copy and paste some plain text. So when it comes to interview question as well, HR can also utilize AI to generate interview questions. So you can go into Copilot Word document and then, or just the Copilot itself. If you don't want to copy from the Copilot into a Word document, you can go straight into your Word. But remember that not just your normal Word, it should be Microsoft 360. Your normal Word on your laptop, if it's not Microsoft 360 account, it wouldn't work. So you should have a Microsoft 360 account for this if you want to go directly into your Word to use the Copilot. So you can also as well ask that it should generate um an interview questions you could use, maybe generate 10 or 5 behavioral and technical interview questions for me, questions for data scientist role or for business analyst role. You can do that and it will give you all the prompts. Our time is moving faster, so I'll limit the time we go back there. But I hope once we are done, you go back and check all these AIs. Whilst I'll be going back to the AI, doing the practicals as well, we have to finish what we have here. And you can also use Gemini as well. You can use ChatGPT. So you can just use all. So with candidate communication, when during recruitment, we have that step as well. Once you have your job description, your interview question, you have to communicate with the candidate. You don't just send them maybe the questions. So the interview, you have it, you communicate with them. So it can start with an email. The person apply for the job, then the person is a good candidate. You send them an email, okay, this and that. So with the email, ChatGPT can help you draft an email. Copilot can do that as well. Inside, if you use Microsoft 360 inside your mail, it could help you directly from that place. Claude also can help you if you have Google, if you use Gmail too. You can utilize Gemini, but if with the Gemini, you have to go inside your Gemini. It's not like the Copilot that is integrated, unless you have the enterprise one, which you want to integrate it yourself when it comes to the Gemini and the Gmail. Aside from these four tools that free tools we are using, we have some specialized tools which HR can use for recruitment and talent acquisition. So these are other tools which you could leverage on. So we have the LinkedIn Recruiter plus AI. So now LinkedIn Recruiter have an AI integrated into it. So with this, it's not free. You can't use it for free. If you're an HR, you have to pay. We have the higher view. So with this also, it's also AI-driven video interviewing and assessment. So sometimes you apply for some job, they'll tell you to do an interview. You don't see the person there doing the interview with you, but rather there'll be a camera on, your camera will be on, and then the questions will come at the side. I don't know if any of you have experienced some, but I have. So you have the questions at the side, and then you have the camera on whilst you answer the question, and it's timed. The time is limited. Once your time is up, the video automatically close. So that is something that HR also can utilize. If maybe you have a number of applicants that you need to meet or interview. Sometimes they don't interview, maybe you have 500 applicants. You're actually going to hire one person. So you can use these AI tools to do the screening until you have like 10 which you want to meet in person, because you can't meet all the 500 in person or on a video call. And then we have the Textio, which is the bias detection in job description. So these ones help when it comes to job description. You know, sometimes job description tends to be biased to some people. Sometimes you are writing the job description, but you don't know that it's actually being biased. That some people will read it and feel like, okay, you don't want them to apply. So with this tool, it's going to help you see these biases in job description, create a job description which is free from bias, and then you post it on your LinkedIn. So you can utilize all these tools if you're an HR, aside from the co-pilots that we have. So there is a pro tip I placed here. It said use Claude for final job description polish and ChatGPT for initial drafts and market research. So as you can see, the ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, it gives you the thing, it generates it for you in just simple bullet points. But as you saw from the Claude, it gives you some front-end interface, some design, a nice design from it, not just the normal straight bulletin. So even though you can use your ChatGPT, your Copilot, your Gemini, then you can use Claude to polish it up for it to look nicely before you post it there. So something you should also know is that you can use these tools to check the KPIs impact when it comes to recruitment. You can ask these AIs that, okay, you want to find cost per hire. So maybe you want to hire one person and then you pay them monthly, let's say $5. So you want the AI to help you know how much it will cost to hire maybe 5 people. It could help you do that without you having to crack your brain. Time to fill positions. You could use all this to track your KPIs. It will give you maybe if you want 3 months, it will draw a plan for you. First month do this, second month do that. Candidate experiences. So maybe you want to you have more candidates and you want to know which one is best. You can use all this to do that. Okay, so not wasting time. Another key thing for HR is employee onboarding. So with employee onboarding also, things you could use AI for: onboarding materials. You can create onboarding materials with AI. So first, you can use Microsoft Copilot, Gemini, ChatGPT to create the and then you use the Claude. Like I said, Claude creates some interface for you, nice interfaces. So you can use Claude also to create these nice materials, so onboarding materials for you. And then Claude normally don't give the plain ones that ChatGPT normally gives you. Gives you a very nice interface. And then policy simplification and translation. So sometimes we know that policy, sometimes they'll give you the materials and then you read the policies, you don't get anything. So as an HR, you can just use AI like ChatGPT or Gemini to simplify your policy for your new employee who is being onboarded into the organization. And as always, we have our specialized onboarding platforms, which an HR can use. And the top rated one is the Emborder. So the Emborder, like I said, the specialized ones are not free. Actually, they are not free. You pay for them. So the Emborder is an AI powered journey platform for experience. So when you go there, you have everything in that specific AI. So if you want to create, it creates these nice things for you. And I specifically don't have a subscription to it. Like, I'm not an HR, but I have had the opportunity to see it. So you can actually go online and search for, or you even see videos around how to use Emborder and all that. You see how it is. And we have the Bumble HR, we have the Workday, we have the Learn AI. So all these things helps when it comes to onboarding. And the next one, sorry, I'm rushing. Our time is going. So it's employee engagement and survey. So once the employees are in as an HR, normally you have to engage your employees. You have to do some surveys to see what is going on, whether they are doing well with their jobs and all that. It's something HR does. So when it comes to survey creation, you can use ChatGPT or Claude, and then Copilot in forms. And when you go to the Microsoft forms, you can utilize Copilot in there. Instead of you filling the form one and one like you normally do, question one, and then you add your choice, you can actually utilize Copilot in the forms so that it does it for you. And also, like I keep saying, this is for Microsoft 360. You have to subscribe to these things to utilize them. It's not like free. You can't go to your normal forms and then it will be doing that for you. And then we have the sentiment analysis and insights. So we know that AI normally gives insights when you feed them with reports. So maybe you've done your forms, you've given it out, then this AI will give you an insight of, okay, maybe the forms is about people who have sentiments in the organization. And then you do the survey. It will give you insight that, okay, 3 people have sentiments against these specific things. These are the things that people think you should do. It gives you that insight and analysis on the things you want to analyze. So maybe it depends, not just sentiments, it could be anything you want to analyze. When it comes to employee engagement, you can use these tools to do that. And you can use Claude. So the Claude, you can use it to analyze 500 open-end response. So if you have 500 response, it's a lot for you to look through all of them. You can just put the response into Claude and it will do this analysis for you. The same as Gemini, you can also use Gemini for that. And then, as always, we have specialized survey platform that you can utilize. So we have the Lattice, the Culture app. So I'll say AMP. Someone will say AMP, like AMP. So any way you want to mention that. And we have some other Microsoft Viva Glint. So it's also from Microsoft. It's just that it's not in the Microsoft 360. That one is like a more, as you can see, it's $2 per user a month. So if you have 3 users, that means $6 per month. So these are not free things, but you still can utilize them. Policy management and compliance, like I said, sometimes policies are very hard for your people to understand. So as an HR, you have to find a way. So let's say you are creating policy. Like I said, when it comes to Claude, if you want your things to look nicer, so maybe if you tell ChatGPT to create you a CV and then you tell Claude to create you a CV, you actually see the difference. Claude will actually make it nice, add some colors to it, like add arrangements. You actually be shocked compared to ChatGPT. So if you want some things, documents and it gives you the document to download itself. You are not copying it from it to Word documents or something like that. It creates the documents for you to download. So with Claude, you can create your policy document, just give it the prompt. So something like draft remote work policy covering this and that for me. You give it what you want out of that policy, and then it will create it for you very nicely. ChatGPT can also do that same work, but you will have to, when it comes to the visuals, making the policy documents look nice. Some people, they don't mind it, their focus is on just the policy. So it can even be a bare document, like no creativity, no design. It's okay for them. So far as the prompt is the policy is there, that's okay. So if you are that person, you can go for ChatGPT. If you are the person who wants your things to look more nicely, you go for Claude AI. Yeah. And then policy updates and comparison. So maybe you have 2 policies you want to compare. You can, and they are Word documents. You can just use the Copilot to compare these documents and that, or update these documents for me. Instead of going to update it yourself, you can just, since you already have the Word documents, you can just open in your Microsoft 360 and then just tell Copilot to update it, this and that, put in this, put in that for you. And then we have the Gemini also, you can use in your Google workspace and all that. And for FAQ generation and communication. So if you have some questions and answers that you want to generate, multiple choice, you normally, when you are creating questions, you normally go to ChatGPT, Claude, Copilot, Gemini. You can use all these ones to create FAQ and generation and communication. And then when it comes to compliance and risk management, I don't know if we have some compliance people also here, but you know, as an HR, you need to be compliant to some things. So HR can use AI powered compliance checks to do their check to make sure that okay, they are doing whatever they're supposed to when it comes to policy. Are people following it? How are we checking it? And HR can use this, and there are some tools that you could use which we have the Textio. So all these, the tools that I mentioned are actually not free. Like I said, we have the compliance HR, which you could subscribe. Sometimes they'll give you some free time to use it. Let's say one free use or trial, and then you have to pay for the rest. We have the policy tech, which you can also utilize as an HR. So I think 1 hour is past, left it's an hour, and we are on our second topic, which is communication, something that all of us do regardless of your position at work. You do communication. You communicate with peers, you communicate with clients, you communicate with potential clients, whoever it is, your boss, your friends, colleagues. We do communicate at work, no matter what your position. So let's look at how we could utilize AI to help us when we are communicating in communication. So starting with the first thing is content creation and writing. So even aside from our job, when we, as a business analyst, you be driving business to your organization. So you do a lot of communication with potential clients or clients you want to get for your organization. And aside that, even you working in a business, even me per se, I have to in my work, I do a lot of communication with clients I'm working with, I'm implementing for. I do communicate with them. So when it comes to content creation, not just leave it for the digital marketers. As someone in a business, you can create a blog post and then you can post. Now we have LinkedIn. Every time people post on their LinkedIn, you can actually utilize this AI to create these kind of posts. So we have Claude. So Claude is unmatched for its tone and consistency. And then, so if you have a specific tone that you use, it's consistent. It doesn't change. If you wanted to use a specific tone, maybe a polite tone, it goes till it's finished the post. It's unmatched for that. So that is something that if you are creating a content and you want to maintain the same tone, you know that you are going for Claude. And then if it comes to sorry, I think I should put this rather in this view so people see it more. Yeah, sorry. So hold on. Yeah. So when it comes to Claude, you can give it a prompt when it comes to blog post or long form content. Like I said, Claude is very good when it comes to long form content. I don't know if some people here use Claude, but normally if you want to write an article, maybe I know people know of Medium, like there is a place you post articles. Sometimes if you use ChatGPT, it gives you, but normally it doesn't give you as long a post like Claude does. So you can tell Claude to write 1,500 words blog and it will do it for you because it actually gives long posts. So you can tell it to write 2,000 word blog posts for digital transformation with professionals. So these things are something and as we are doing this course, you have to find opportunities to also gain something, utilize the skills you are learning. So blog post is something that people make money from actually. You post on news pages and all that, and people view it and then you get money from your view. So sometimes you don't have to know how to write actually to create a blog. So now that you have something like Claude, you can create a very long blog if you want to. You don't have to limit your words, and then it will help you create that thing. And then the strength of it is that it has a natural flow if you use Claude. It has minimal editing needed, like it rarely needs editing. And then you have excellent headline suggestions also when it comes to using Claude. Please, is someone talking? Okay. And then we have ChatGPT also, which is also excellent. With the 4 ones, we have Claude is like the best for writing, and then ChatGPT, like I said earlier, ChatGPT is also excellent in this format, just that Claude gives a lengthy one than compared to ChatGPT, but ChatGPT is also good. When it comes to internal communication and executive messaging. So you have Copilot in your Outlook, which is your email, those who use Outlook. When it comes to communication internally and executive messaging or externally, you can utilize in your Microsoft 360, you can utilize your Copilot. Actually, help me draft a mail. Mostly we go to ChatGPT and then drafts the mail and then we copy it and bring it here. But if you subscribe to the 360 on the subscribed one, Microsoft the Copilot actually can even respond to a mail for you. And sorry, I'm not subscribed to it, so I'm not able to show you that. But I know it's something that can be done. You can actually, if you have the subscribe 360, you can go there and then if you have an email, it just automatically suggests um a reply for you, and you can set it in a way that it's maybe every 8 a.m. you should send an email to these people reminding them of that. So you could actually utilize that as well. And we have Claude, ChatGPT, and the others like we normally do. You can go there and then you let it draft a message for you and you send it along in your email. So with that, you go and do copy and paste and it will do it that way. And most of the times too, when you look at your Gmail, when you are drafting a mail, sometimes the AI in there normally do an auto thing that so far when you start say, let's say, I hope you are, then it will continue for you. That is also a doing of the AI integrated in the Gmail as well. So we have specialized writing too. The popular one is the Jasper AI content platform with brand voice training. So as you can see, when it comes to blog posts or content creation, now there are a lot of AI around which even generates videos for you, content videos for free. And the free version are normally restricted to video and you have to move around. But if once you pay the subscription, you can actually go on and do those kind of videos. We have Copy AI, which is marketing copy generator with workflow automation. So this is also help with social media ads, blog posts. When you want to market something, it creates the ad for you, social media ads for you. And the Jasper also, I forgot to say, it's a brand voice. So you can create something for your brand. Like I said, maybe you are starting a new brand. You can subscribe to Jasper, you get your brand voice, some templates, it gives you some templates you could use for your posts, your content creations. And then we have the writer also, which is enterprise grade with style guide enforcement and compliance checking. So this one helps you with compliance, and then it's that it gives you a style guide. So it helps you to make sure that, okay, sometimes you create some content and then you post somewhere and then your content will be banned. So this writer will help you make sure that you are compliant with all these things before you even post it. So the content types, like I said, you can create a blog post or an article. You can press release. You can utilize this AI in your work. If you want to create newsletters, I don't know, sometimes you subscribe to newsletters, not all. And the newsletters, you can see you subscribe to some newsletter that every morning it keeps coming. And you'll be thinking, is this person writing this newsletters every day? So most of them, they are not. Actually, 99% of them are not writing it every day. They are using this AI to generate these newsletters and even automating the way it's sent to you in your mail. So every morning you wake up and you see a newsletter. You think the person woke up early and just wrote this for you. No, they are utilizing AI, which you can also utilize as well. Website copy, case studies. You can use all this for if you are creating a content here as a business developer or a business analyst, sorry. So use the pro tip here is use Claude for final polish. Like I always say, if you want your things to look nice, look no further than Claude. Actually, if you go to Claude, it makes your things, your writings look nice. It gives you that front end touch attachments that it brings the color, the structures, the designs into your writing for you. So as much as you generate the post with ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, you can copy that thing into Claude and make it look more polished and more nicer. Now let's move on to social media management. So as a business analyst, sometimes your work might be not just your work. Maybe you even have a startup that you want to manage your social media. Maybe you are selling some clothes, you are selling some shoes, and then you have a small social media platform, and then you don't have money to pay someone to manage it for you. How are you going to utilize this AI to manage your social media platform? So social post creation, like I said earlier, aside from blog creation, you can actually utilize AI to create content on your social media. So you have Claude with our 4 AI, you have Claude. Claude can generate a social media post, your LinkedIn post. Okay, you can create a LinkedIn post announcing product launch, professional tone. Like it will follow. And like I said earlier, Claude doesn't change the tone you give it. It uses it and it will give you a correct thing and you post on your LinkedIn. The same as ChatGPT, a lot of LinkedIn posts, we know that it's ChatGPT and Claude that people normally use to write these posts. So you can use this to create social media posts on other social media platforms, maybe your Twitter, your LinkedIn, your Facebook post. And when it comes to image one or video ones that you'd want to use also, we have Gemini also generates pictures, ChatGPT generates pictures. The same, all of them also generates pictures. So maybe you want a picture to be generated for you and you go to something like Pinterest, then you take your maybe an inspo from there, you put the picture in, let's say, ChatGPT to describe the picture for you, and then you take the description to, let's say, Gemini to use its nano banana to create a picture for you, and there you have your picture. And if you go to a place like Canva, now Canva also have AI integrated in them, just that you have to pay for subscription. If you have the money, you can utilize the AI on Canva also to generate a creative picture post for you that you could post on your social medias. So like I said, visual content. So we have the Del 3 in ChatGPT. So ChatGPT can actually create the, oh sorry, Del E3. So ChatGPT can create pictures, as I said, and we have the Canva AI also. So some specialized social media platform that you could use and for this specific social media engagement is the Buffer. So we have a free plan, Buffer, and it's an AI assistant. AI assistant adapts posts for each platform automatically. So here it has different platforms that you could utilize. So we have Buffer, and then you can try the free plan. But like I said, all free plans, you can't actually get what the thing is billed for unless you pay for the subscription, which is $5 per month per channel. So maybe if the channel you want the post to go is maybe LinkedIn or maybe whatever channel you want, and then you pay $5 a month for it, you actually get to utilize this buffer very well than using the free plans, which have restrictions and all that. And we have the Hootsuite also. The Hootsuite is an AI writer. So copyright. So sometimes you see people asking for copywriters. It's used to, when you go to freelancing sites, you see people searching for copywriters and all that. But this one is an AI, which is quite expensive. So it's $199 per month. So this is almost $200 per month. But it's a site which actually is very good. Instead of going to hire a copywriter, you can actually go to this AI website, and if you have the money, you can pay and get your work done for you. And we have the Sprout Social, which is an advanced AI analytics and social listening. So it has 30 billion plus messages per day. So it can create you 30 billion plus messages per day. So it's an advanced AI which does messaging. So let's say you want to message your customers, or you want to send messages to people you want them to purchase your work or purchase your things. Instead of you typing these messages over and over, you can also subscribe to this channel, and then it will do the work for you. With this one, the subscription is just like the Hootsuite, which is $199 per month, almost $200. And then we have the Creators AI, which is an end-to-end post creation. So it creates your text, image, video with a goal tracker. So it's maybe you have a goal, you want to sell maybe 100 pieces of, I don't know, 100 pieces of bags in a month. So that's the goal. And then you are subscribed to this AI. So it's going to help you reach that goal by creating advertisement, video, images, text, and tell you where to post it, those kind of stuff, whilst tracking the goal to see whether you've reached that specific goal. And this is also as for you have to subscribe. You don't even have a free version, but it's quite $19 per month is actually something you could manage if you want to down the yeah. So this AI will help you optimize. So this AI that we have, you can use it to optimize posting, time recommendation. So sometimes it will tell you in your region, maybe you're in Nigeria, in Ghana, this is the best time to look at those letters. It could tell you that, okay, don't post at 8 a.m., post at 9 a.m. It will do all those things. Some generate for you as well, hashtags to add to your stuff, which help you reach people more. So these AI, mostly the specialized ones, not the general ones. Even ChatGPT can also help you generate hashtags as well. Claude can help you generate hashtags as well. But when it comes to the specialized ones, they are trained specifically for that. So it really helps. It's just that you have to spend some money before you get what you want. Moving on to media relation and crisis communication. So when, as a business analyst, when there is crisis, sometimes in organization, you have to learn how to communicate with the media. You know, sometimes when there is crisis, everyone is saying whatever they think it is, but the company needs to come out to make sure that people get what is going on and they are not just rumors or so in preparation. So when it comes to media relation, maybe you are going to speak on news, you are going to be interviewed about something in your organization. You have this AI to help you with in preparation. You have Copilot research workflow. So you can go into Copilot, you research journalists, recent article and interview style. So maybe you want to know how journalists are, like the style they use for their interview, recent style, which maybe drew people's attention, which got positive feedback. So you can research this in Copilot. And since it's Copilot workflow, when we say workflow, it's not like it's following from one to the end. So it's, let's say it's like you're doing the thing step by step. It's not like everything is on their own individually. On the workflows, they know that it's one work that you're doing, but as in step by step, that the AI knows that. So you research the interview style, you analyze publication audience demographic. So maybe, where am I going to publish my thing? Am I going to publish it in Ghana? Even in Ghana, where is it, in Accra or in Kumasi? You have to know where you are posting it, and check the audience demographic to know how they react. You know, sometimes you post something in Ghana and the reaction will be different from if you are posting it from audience in Nigeria. So you need to know all this so that you, before you even do the interview. So generate anticipation question, then you tell it that, okay, based on the research you've done for the interview style, you are going to do this style of interview for these specific people. So it should generate this kind of interview topics for you, which will catch the people in that specific demographic. And then you should draft some response which aligns, that people would like to hear that response from you. You can actually use that to create an interview preparation. So you prepare yourself before you even go and have that interview. And then you have Claude for message refinement. So the messages or the questions that you got from Copilot, you can use Claude for refinement. So you can create these questions, make them concise, make them quotable, align them to your narrative that you are going for in the interview. You can use Claude to do that. And then we have the crisis response and statement. So aside from interview preparation, AI can help you when you are in crisis. So let's say something has happened in your organization and then you have to respond to that crisis. So you can go to ChatGPT, tell it to, let's say, draft holding statements, acknowledging. So maybe there's a data breach. You have to come and speak to the public. Maybe there's a bank and then my money is there and I've heard that there's a data breach. I need to hear from the bank. They have to come and tell me that, okay, your money is safe, your data are safe. People didn't, maybe only 100 data were breached. You can go to ChatGPT and tell it to draft something for you, and it will draft it clearly, fast. And then you can use Claude also with the tone. Even with ChatGPT, you can tell it the tone you want it to create this thing for. And we have specialized AI for crisis communication workflow. So we have something like rapid assistant. So this, when it comes to crisis, crisis is not a time that you have to now coming to think of, okay, do we do this? So it needs urgent intervention. So you need rapid assistance. So you use the AI to summarize your situation. When there is crisis, you summarize the situation. You don't have time to read through. Maybe they've sent you a lot of reports. There's a data breach and they are sending you a lot of reports. You can't look through each situations from sources. Then you identify it from the AI. Can message you don't have time typing to everyone. That is why you have the AI. You can let it generate all the messages for you. You send it out, do and refinement. So leave concern. You can ask the AI, okay, what are the legal concerns? Am I going to be fined by the government, the regulatory body? Do I need to prepare for something? The AI can help you with all this. And then distribution, multiple channels. So AI can help you distribute. So sometimes we have social media, you for things, and then they post it to go to sites. So all these things are something that you could use in crisis, let's say in your organization or in your own startup that you have. You can use steps when you are in crisis. So media monitoring. So we have some AI tools which monitor the media for you. So maybe there's some crisis and you want to see how the people are the outside world is dealing with the crisis on your organization. So we have something called Melt Water. So it's AI powered media monitoring and sentiment analysis. So it's analyze the media, it monitors your media. So maybe you put your organization social media to it and see, it will say, okay, people in the comment section are really hating on your company, or people feel bad for what has happened, or people are applauding you for this. It actually monitors your media, and then it generates analysis on what is going on in your media. And we have the Tissons, any way you like to pronounce it. That one also is a comprehensive media database with AI insights. So there you have a database, a lot of data there. So maybe you want to check, like I said, you want to check that, okay, people in Accra, Ghana, do they like this kind of media post? You can go there. It has a database, a comprehensive database. So you can do your research from there. And we have Band Watch, which is also a social listing and trend detection. So maybe you want to find trending videos, people who do social media. You want to find trending videos and see what they do in that video so that you also know what videos to do. You can use the Band Watch also to do that. And some critical notes I've left here for you is that AI assists with speed and consistency, but human judgment is essential for crisis communication. So although the AI is there to help you, when there is crisis, we need human judgment. You shouldn't solely depend on this AI. If it helps and all that, you need human judgment in there to help you when there is crisis, because AI will tell you, okay, tell the public this, but you know that when you tell this to the public, this specific public, you know how they'll react. So you need human judgment in there when there is crisis. So always have leadership approve of sensitive message before you put out there. Even though you are in the media or you are the communication person for your organization, you should make sure that you have your management approve of these things before you send it out there. If you own your own business, then you have to know that, okay, the human judgment should be there before you send things out when it comes to media. And also, when there is crisis also, you have to check your time to respond. So because crisis is something that if you don't act fast, it escalates. So you have to be conscious of your time also as well as a business analyst. Okay, so moving on to email and meeting management. When it comes to communication, email is one thing in business, in the corporate world, where we use it for communication. So like I said earlier, email drafting. So AI can help you draft your email. So you have Copilot in your Outlook. So it's best integration because it's in your Outlook. So you don't need to go and open another browser, tell it to do this. So maybe someone has sent you an email, you don't quite understand it. You tell my Copilot that, okay, please help me understand this. Please summarize this for me, break it down for me. You can tell it to do anything for you. But if you don't have Copilots or you are not subscribed to the Microsoft 360, no worries. You can equally copy the mail, put it into Claude, ChatGPT, or Gemini for it to break it down or summarize it for you. The same way it could help you draft a response to a mail, or even if you have an idea of a mail that you want to draft, but you don't know how to go about the drafting, you could go to and you don't have Microsoft 360, you could go to ChatGPT, Claude, and then they'll help you. It will help you draft the mail. When it comes to meeting, we are using Zoom now. We have Copilot, Copilot in Teams as well. So when you go to, are we even using Teams? Sorry. So we have Copilot in Teams. When you are using Teams, you have Copilot in there which can transcribe things for you. So real-time transcription, automatic recap generation, action item extraction. So sometimes in a meeting, you see that they'll tell you, okay, can you do this? Maybe they'll mention your name. Jemima, can you jot this down so that you do it after the meeting? This Copilot AI, which is integrated in Teams, will pick up the action item for you. And then after the meeting, tell you that, okay, you have to do this and that because it was spoken in the meeting. So you can command it to recap this meeting, or what action item was assigned to me during this meeting, and it will tell you what was said on the meeting, recap the meeting for you, or tell you the action item you are supposed to do. The same with Gemini, which is integrated in the Google Meet as well. So it generates meeting notes, a key point highlights, and attendance tracking. So with the Gemini, it could do that. So it could tell you, okay, these people came for the meeting, this person left at this time, this person also left at this time. And then it could highlight key points which was spoken about in the meeting for you. It could do that as well. And then we have the Claude for analysis. So unlike the two, which is the Copilot and Gemini, which is integrated into their systems, Claude is not integrated into in Gmail or your your Google Meet or your Teams. So Claude is you can use it to analyze meeting transcripts. So maybe you've gotten the transcript from your Teams, you want to analyze it to see maybe who interacted most during the meeting, who talked best, those kind of stuff. You can put it in Claude, and then Claude will do that analysis for you. So post-meeting strategy analysis. So maybe what you talked about in the meeting, you can put it in Claude and you ask it, okay, what do you think we should do next regarding this problem that was talked in the meeting? So it will analyze the conversation from the transcript and then give you an answer on what to do. So like we have the fourth AI that we've been using here, which is Claude, Copilot, ChatGPT, and Gemini. So side by side email track. So when it comes to Copilot, it's native Outlook integration. So it's in your Outlook already. One-click generation, like I said, it's already in there. You don't have to go and open it somewhere. You just click it and it generates something what you want it to generate for you. And then content from mail. So context from, so it can, once you get the mail, since it's integrated in your mail, it knows what is in the mail. You open the mail, it knows what is in there. So you can just ask it anything regarding the mail and it will do it for you. Limited customization. So that is one thing. It's for sure. So you can't customize it the way you want because it's already integrated in the Copilot. In the mail, the Copilot is already integrated. So you can't customize it in a way that you want it to be. And when we go to Claude, best writing quality, superior tone control, long content window, and then the con is, that's the pros. The con is manual copy and paste. Like I said, it's not integrated inside the mail. So you have to open Claude at the side, then you do the copy, and then you come and paste it in your mail. ChatGPT to multiple variations, web browsing plus plugin ecosystem, but it's generic without context. So if you don't give it that context that you want it to give, like you don't give him enough context, it will give you something generic, which sometimes is not even associated with the email you are even sending. So you have to take note of that. And it's also, I didn't even add, but it's also manual copy and paste because ChatGPT is not integrated in, so you have to copy and then you come and paste it in your mail. So Gemini, we have the Gmail integration. So when you use Gmail, you have Gemini integrated in there. Massive context. So Gemini have a massive context because like I said, it's connected directly to the web, the live web. So it have a lot of context that it could give you, like it is connected directly to the like live web. So if something changes this seconds, it have access to it. And then we have the multilingual. So Gemini, like you can go to Google and then you search for maybe how do we say write in this language, and it will do it for you. So since Gemini is connected to the web, you can actually write an email in English and tell it to translate it in maybe Japanese or Spanish, and it will do it for you. But the downside is that it's newer to the market than the Gemini, which is incorporated in the Gmail, is newer to the market. Yeah, so recommendation is that you can use Copilot for daily emails, meeting, workflow, within the Microsoft ecosystem. So far as you have a Microsoft account, you can use Copilot within the ecosystem. And then you can use Claude also for communication. But since it's not integrated, you have to go back and forth, actually. So our next thing on our agenda, then the class will be over. I hope we finish on time. So it's implementation strategy. So let's look at the best practices for adapting the AI tools into our organization. So building your AI toolkit. So let's see how as an organization or even as you individual, you can build your AI toolkit. So integration requirements. So when it comes to you building your the AI in your systems or in your organization, you have to have some integration requirements. So the ecosystem is first, existing ecosystem. You have to check, okay, my organization, do we use Gmail or do we use Outlook? So if you use Outlook, you know that, okay, we are going for um Microsoft 360. If you use Microsoft 3, you know that, okay, we can just integrate Copilot in everything because we don't have to do anything. So we just subscribe to Microsoft 360, we get the Copilot, then we use it to do our work. If you use the Google Workspace, you know that, okay, we all use Google Workspace, we have Gmails and all that. So let's go for the Gemini. So you have to check these requirements first. If it's a mixed environment also, you can also choose on what you like to. You can go with Claude, ChatGPT. Since it's not, you don't have one ecosystem, you can go with anyone that you have. So first you have to check your ecosystem, and then you know that, okay, this is what is good for my organization. And security and compliance checklist. So you have to check, sometimes when you're doing these things, you have to check if you are complying to maybe your regulators, or you are doing something out of your policies that you have. So you have to check for data privacy. So maybe you've implemented some data privacy, or there's a data privacy law in your country, which states that you shouldn't use AI in your work. Like, you need to know all these security and compliance things related to this before you actually even build your AI tool. So you have to check for your access control. If I put AI in there, can people go backdoor to enter into my system? You need to check all these things. No training on data encryption. You need to check all these things before you settle that, okay, I'm going to build AI toolkit in my organization. And then one thing also is the cost. You have to analyze the cost, because these AI tools, like I said, if you want to utilize it to the best, you have to subscribe. So like an enterprise-based AI, you need like $30 to $50 per month to have your enterprise-based AI. And then, so if your organization don't have that kind of money, you know that, okay, then let's just stick to whatever free thing that we are using. So you have to take into consideration all this. And then the decision tree sits here. So Microsoft, you start with Copilot because it's already in there. You don't have to go and get someone who build AI to come and build it for you, anything. If you use Google, you start with Gemini. If it's mixed, then you start with Claude or ChatGPT. So the next is what you want it to what you want to use it for. So when it's heavy writing, you know that Claude will give you more things. So you go for Claude. If it's coding technical, you add ChatGPT to it. If your company does what they do, you specialize HR and communication, you add some tools. I mentioned other tools. Not just that, even IT in operations, which you'll be learning in other weeks to come. So you see that they have different tools. So it depends on what your organization do and what you are going for. So before you adopt anything, you should know that, okay, will this really help my organization? Because you're going to spend money on that. So you have to take into consideration all this thing. So implementation roadmap and change management. So let's say you are using 90 days to implement, you have to create your roadmap. You don't just stand up and then do this tomorrow, and then today, and then tomorrow you've forgotten about it, and you'll be 1 month later, you'll be like, oh, we are even trying to integrate AI. No, you have to have a roadmap. So this is just some roadmap example that I did. So like day 1 to 30 foundation. So you know that you pilot your program with 10 to 5 power users. So maybe you are doing it with 5 to 10 people users account. So um you move on to, you select the pilot group, establish governance policy, define success metric, begin baseline productivity measurement. So these are yours could be different from this. This is just an example I'm giving for implementation timeline. If you want to integrate this AI, you should have a timeline. Don't just do it anyhow. Otherwise, you miss something, or you just end up just not integrating it well in your organization. One thing also is change management, something we should never forget or never go without is change management. We should have it in mind that we can reach some points that we want some changes in this AI that we are integrating. So if there is going to be a change, there should be something that the executive is supporting. So you if you are, let's say, just a normal worker, you can't just stand up and say, okay, my organization use Google Workspace, but because Copilot is so cool for me, let's all move on to Copilot. No, it's supposed to be something that comes from the organization, and then it's supposed to be something that it's not like anyone stand up and they just do a change. Should follow a procedure, a step. So it should have that there that you follow, training and enablement. So as you are bringing the change, you should train the people also to be able to work with the tools that you want them to work with. And then the governance framework is also there, the policies, the procedures with whatever we are going to adapt. So if you're an individual, this also comes in that once you say, okay, I'm going to start using this, maybe we talked about blog creation. I'm going to use this AI to create blog to make money. You don't just stand up and then go to any AI. Now you've learned, you know that, okay, this is what I'm going with, the interface. Because Claude is a lot of a lot of writing. I'll just use Claude to do my post writing and all that. So you sit down and then plan before you implement. Don't just rush into it just anyhow. And then so some key takeaway from what we've learned today is that no single AI tool does everything. Like you saw, even in the first practical that we did, you could see that some AI tool, they generated a web post, all right, but some didn't add some key things. Some tool did the interface differently. So you can't just get anything from one single AI. We don't have like this AI can do this better than this, the same way this AI A can do better than AI B. So one AI can't have everything you want. So you don't have to depend on one AI, just one. So there are people, the only AI they know is ChatGPT. So you have to be versatile, look for other AI tools, mostly the specialized ones also. So here, another key insight is specialized tools outperform general AI. So specialized tools mostly, like I said, outperform general AI. They do well because they are trained to do what you want them to do. So if it's to track something online, their only goal is to track something online. So if you tell the generic one to track something online, and then you use the specialized one will do best because that is what it's built to do. And then the integration matters. So you choose the tools that will work for you. Like I said, don't just go for any tool. Check which one will work best for you, then you choose it. And then don't forget your human judgment. Even though we are using AI, you have to make sure you always have your human judgment alongside, because AIs are not human. They can't feel, they can't know what human can like know. So even though when it comes to like let's say knowledge part, that is different, but when it comes to the human judgment, human feeling part, you need a human being there. So as we come to the end of this section, you can start with your next step. You start with a pivot, you invest in training. So these are some of the trainings. You've come here, we've shared some AI tools, which I know these slides or this training material will be shared. So now you know different type of AI for different type of work, that you know, okay, you have to invest in this AI to do this. So you know that this AI works best for this purpose, this AI works best for that purpose. And then you measure and iterate. So once you are working with the AI, like I said, don't depend on one. Once you're working, make sure you are checking which one is working best for which task you want. Like I said, I might like ChatGPT, someone might like Gemini more. It depends on what I'm looking for and what you are looking for. So you have to always be measuring and finding ways to finding new AI to do what the old one you were using wasn't able to do. So that is the end of our section. Please, is there any question for me? And can you okay. If you can't speak, you can always write it in the chat room. If there is any question or anything you'd like to share of what you learned today, anything new you learned today.
It's
Okay,
our
next.
Q&A session, so please feel free to unmute or send in your contribution or question in the chat room. All right, I think there is no question, Jemima.
Okay.
Thank you so much for today's session. I really enjoyed a bit of them. Please, a round of applause to her. Please, please, please. I know people are really logged out. Probably it's the network. We still have Kayode, we still have Love Days, we still have John on the call. Thank you for sticking by. Please, let's give a round of applause to our trainer for the time taken to explain this session. Okay, so while we are at that, please go ahead and fill up the feedback form. Titi, please help us post the feedback link. Please, once you are done filling up the feedback link, type in the chat room done. Please, we really need your feedback. It will help us to improve. All right.